Hey guys, it is Admin. Welcome to another episode in the Machine's Datapack Showcase. Today we're going to be looking at the machine's ore crushing capabilities as well as the washer. So as always, to get started, we need a custom crafter. That is a dropper facing upwards with a crafting table thrown on top. As shown in the previous video, here is the crafting recipe for the crusher. And while we're at it, let's take a look at the washer's crafting recipe. You make the washer with 3 iron blocks, 3 iron ingots, and 2 pieces of obsidian. The washer can be placed into the world, but it must be placed on top of a cauldron. So if you try to place it normally, it will turn into an item. But if you place down a cauldron and then shift right click on top, you can place the crusher, and there will be a spout facing the direction towards you. So if you rotate this way and place it, the spout will face towards you. This will be important later. Also, to break it, simply break the cauldron and it will drop as an item. Let's check out the ores. So every ore in the game can be crushed on the crusher over there. And when that occurs, they will drop ore chunks. Ore chunks is in a plural. Iron and gold, which cannot be fortuned, will drop 2 ore chunks, and everything else that has the fortune effect applied to it will drop 3 ore chunks. So let's just grab a few of these and show that in action. So if I place iron on here, and of course activate it, you'll see it will start to break, and when it breaks, we will get the items dropped in item form. These can of course be picked up with a hopper or something like that. And again, for lapis, we can place it down, and this time, so for gold and iron, we only got 2, but for lapis, we got 3. So, now that we have these ore chunks, you would think you could maybe just smelt them in a furnace, but that is not the case. Instead, we need to use the washer. The washer will accept these through the top as an item, and will process it. After 5 seconds, we will get an ingot. And this is where that spout comes into effect, as the item will get spat out in the direction that it is facing. So if we wanted this to go into a chest, we could simply put a hopper right there. Ores do not have to be thrown in one at a time. They can be stacks of any amount, and also multiple at the same time. However, it can only process 1 at once. So every 5 seconds, it can process 1. This means that if you throw in too many items, you run the risk of them despawning. And there we go, it has processed all of those items. I'm not entirely sure what the best way to automate this would be, as I am not that great with redstone, but I assume you could use pistons to push the items onto the device, and if you have a stream of blocks coming in, once it breaks, suppose I were to actually encase this, then you could pick up the items as they fall off, because the piston would then push them along. Water streams are probably the best way to get the ore chunks into the actual washer. To do this, I would suggest aligning the items up against the wall to where then they can hit an iron bar that will center them along the pathway. This will ensure that they will always drop into the actual device. So let's see that again. You'll see it goes along, and now is centered and drops into the washer. So overall, I think that this pack could be quite fun in your survival world. And while we're at it, we might as well look at a couple alternative recipes that it also adds. Coal can be crushed in the washer, and that will give us gunpowder. Wheat can be thrown into the washer to get 2 seeds. And blaze rods can give you 4 blaze powder. But suppose you think it's too overpowered, let's look at some settings. Alright, so to bring up the settings, we can type /reload. This will reload the pack, and then the settings will show up in the text. you can click the settings button to actually bring up the settings page. Under the crusher, you can determine which ores you want to be enabled. If you disable them, they cannot be crushed. And then if we head back and go to the washer, you can see there's a toggle to turn all ores on or off. I figured I didn't need to do specific ones for the washer, as you should do that on the crusher, to avoid there being useless items. So maybe you've decided that for the crusher, maybe you only want iron and gold, so you don't want coal, lapis, diamonds, redstone, emerald, or quartz. So then for the washer, just keep ores on, and while all of the ores, such as diamond ore, will be crushable, or it will be washable, it will not be obtainable from the actual crusher over here. Let me quickly grab a diamond and throw it down, and you can see it is not obtainable. You can also toggle any of those other recipes that I talked about, so we have the coal to gunpowder, wheat to seeds, and blaze rod to blaze powder. Also, if you have any suggestions for any recipes that the washer could have, please let me know and I will do my best to implement them. Anyway, that is all I have for this video. Make sure to hit the like button, and please subscribe if you want to not miss out when I post further updates to this pack. Thank you guys for watching.